This is definitely going to be a different video from the regular ones. As the title says, today is Predictions Day and we're going to be going through all these categories and unlocking them one by one. At the end of the year, we're going to come back and revisit these predictions, and seeing as it's summer here, I'll provide you guys in the Northern Hemisphere with some hot takes. But you know I don't like wasting your time or repeating myself over and over, so without further ado, let's just jump into it. Hey guys, editing Raian here. The other day, me and my fellow creators have noticed that you guys are not getting our videos shown in your subscription feed. You have also said so yourself on my poll, so if you do not want to miss any upload, please click the notification bell. Alright, back to the video. The first category is the most important one and of course the biggest one. I'm talking about the Constructors Championship, and starting from bottom to top, we have Haas. 2020 has been a bad season for the US-based team, and with the 2021 car being essentially a B-spec of the previous year one, I don't have much confidence in them, to be honest. By the latter stages, their car was slower than the Williams, and I don't know how much more they can do over that base. With a better Ferrari power unit, I bet they will have more outright pace, but with a fully rookie lineup, I think even Williams are in a much better place coming into 21. Talking about Williams, they are my prediction for a solid P9 there. I think they will be in a similar position to that of Haas in the first few rounds of 2020, but for longer, able to get points in a few races and moving the team forward. Star driver Russell and a staff overhaul might just be what Williams needed to get off the slump. They already cut back all the way to the Alphas last year, and I honestly doubt they will be dropping back. Up next, but by a very close margin, we have Alfa Romeo. With a decent lineup, an okay car, and an upgraded Ferrari on the back, I think they will be able to hold back resurging Williams, but not by much. I'm expecting it to be much closer than last season, and I'm honestly not counting on Alfa scoring many more points than they did last year. Not much to add. I think they be the front of the back once again. For P7, who else could I choose but AlphaTauri? The Italian team have gotten pretty close to Ferrari last year, and if it wasn't for the superb Turkish Grand Prix, they maybe could have caught up. But with the absolutely insane budget Ferrari are managing coming into 2021, as much as I'd love to see the underdog reign supreme, I don't see it happening. Ferrari will probably catch up to the midfield, leaving AlphaTauri ahead of the back markers, but not close enough to the super close fight for third, this time with an extra team thrown into the mix. The lineup, consisting of Gasly and Tsunoda, will definitely be one to look out for, with a mix of pace and talent that is quite rare, but with only 10-point scoring positions, they will regularly get the short end of the stick. So yes, 4 teams fighting for P3. Although I think it's going to be close, I cannot see Ferrari scoring higher than 6th. They are looking optimistically into 2021 with a whole new power unit package and a new super fast driver, but even if they magically fix all the issues and upgrade their car a ton, we have to remember that the other teams are also working on their cars, and those teams have had a pretty big gap in front of Ferrari for 2020, and although I think it'll shrink a ton, I don't see them scoring higher than 6th. The next 3 teams will probably be the most controversial when it comes to their order. We all know which ones they are, and if you bear with me through the next few minutes, I will do my best to explain why I chose them in said order. So in P5 I'm saying Aston Martin, and hold your pitchforks for a second, don't click on unsubscribe just yet, just listen to my thought process. Out of the top 3 midfield teams, this one is the one that will struggle the most in my opinion. They have gone for a Hail Mary approach last year with the pink Mercedes concept, but that was a tricky car to heavily develop upon. Their objective was to close the gap to 2nd, but they only closed the gap to 4th. The experiment is done and the measures have been put in place to prevent it from happening again, and seeing as it was going to be a 1 season long experiment that ended up stretching to 2, they found themselves in a delicate situation. I think they know that and are going to focus their efforts on the 22 campaign. I'd love for them to prove me wrong, but until then I think it's going to be 5th. So if it's 5th position for Aston Martin, who will go 4th? Shock horror, I'm saying McLaren. The walking outfit have been hard at work adapting their MCL35 to the new Mercedes power unit, but as they have said themselves, they haven't had all the time they would have liked to do so. They're in a bit of a rush, but I think they will do a good job either way, and with a slightly more powerful power unit, a solid package, and one of, if not the strongest pairing across the grid, they will be able to hold on Aston Martin with the MCL35M for 2021. Although the fact that they had to spend all their upgrade tokens on the power unit adaptation makes me wary a bit if they will be able to hold on to that 3rd. Yeah, controversial opinion, I know. Renault finished the 2020 season in 5th position, but their arguably second driver has been getting stronger and stronger. I think 2021 will use the Renault RS20 as a launchpad to fully take advantage of the rivals' previously mentioned setbacks and get to work, keep their heads down, and become the dark horse of the 2021 F1 season. The fact that they have the Professor 2.0, the guys that can extract the maximum out of the car in Alonso, and a consistently improving Ocon, Alpine will finish 2021 in 3rd position, mark my words. Now yeah, the 2 remaining teams are pretty much expected here, but I think Red Bull will be much closer to Mercedes this season. With their twitchy car hopefully mended and a fresh face on board, 2021 will be a much closer year. Maybe not to the wire, but Mercedes won't take the championship with 8 races to go. And yes, that leaves Mercedes in P1. Not much to add here. Hamilton will dominate, Bottas will struggle a bit, and they will seal the title once more. Alright, so first set of predictions done and dusted. Next up is the top 5 on the Drivers' Championship. I, honest to god, tried to do the whole grid but almost got a stroke doing so I'll limit it to the top 5, and in first position who else but Hamilton. Mercedes' advantage carries over from 2020, and his impeccable performances will give us the first 8-time world champion, maybe even the last. In second place I put Verstappen. With a bit of extra luck he could have gotten it this year, and I've got faith in his talent and car. P2 for the Dutch/Belgian driver. P3 I think will go to Perez. I think he will get to grips with the Red Bull and will do the best he can. He doesn't have the whole team rallying behind him, and it's going to be the first time on that car, so I put him behind Verstappen, but oh boys, it's going to be a spicy rivalry. So yeah, 4th for Bottas. I've always had faith in him at the beginning of the season and he never quite delivered. Now that he got beaten by Russell, I'm predicting his confidence will be at an all-time low for 2021. No match for Red Bulls, but still ahead of the midfield. Now, this is the most controversial moment of the video probably. On P5, best of the rest, I'm putting Fernando Alonso. Now hold on a second, why did I pick him? Well, it makes sense if it trickles down from my constructor's prediction and the reasoning behind it. Added that the closest competition from 2020 will be in tricky situations, apart from Perez of course. With Daniel not having gotten close to driving a McLaren before testing, Sainz with Ferrari red shackles and Alex racing DTM, what an unexpected move that one. Fernando and his 2020 testing experience will prove vital to reigniting the fire that lies within him. For this last part, I've come up with these 4 different categories to go a bit more in depth into the season. Each prediction will have 1 team and 1 driver, apart from the last one, and I will go over my reasoning. First off, the biggest letdowns. Here I have chosen Alfa Romeo and Mazepin. We all know Haas will struggle big time, and we're expecting Williams to get closer to the fight, but I think the team that will remain the same will be Alfa Romeo. This comes after re-signing both drivers, where they could have gone for either fresh talent, new experience, or both, but they decided to bet on the same horse once again. 2021 will be a season of constantly going under the radar for Alfa Romeo, and I'm expecting one of those drivers to lose their seat by the end of the year. Now onto the other letdown. Actually, not so much of a letdown, because who wouldn't like seeing Mazepin struggle to go around every corner, but I digress. I expect Mazepin to be languishing in the back. Points won't come easily. Actually, I don't think they will come at all. Now onto most improved, and these 2 picks were pretty easy. Ferrari and Vettel of course. Ferrari had the worst season in 40 years last time out, and overcoming that is not going to be hard. As I stated, I don't expect them to gain any positions in the standings, but the battle will be much closer and they will easily get past 150 points. Then we have Vettel, pretty much the same explanation really. He's had the worst season of his life last year, and even though it's still a question of if he will perform, I think it'll be pretty easy to double his point tally of 33 for 2021 with such a good car. Now onto surprise of the season, and I've chosen Aston Martin and Yuki Tsunoda. But Ryan, I hear you say, you said Aston Martin would finish 6th. Well, I never specify what I meant by surprise, but good catch there. I honestly think this team has been overhyped, severely, at least for their first year. I don't think they will be up there fighting the Red Bulls, to be honest. I think it'll be a surprise for many people to see, but yeah, I don't have high hope for Aston Martin's first season in the sport. From then on, who knows? Yuki Tsunoda was my other pick, and although I hardly ever watch F2, it's been really hard to miss the amazing job he's done last year, finishing 3rd in his rookie season with such a great talent pool. I think he's going to adapt pretty easily and take the battle to his teammates in more than one occasion. Talking about taking the battle to his teammate, the last prediction of the evening, or morning, or afternoon, or night, depending on where you are, goes to AlphaTauri for the most intense in-team battle. With such a great lineup, Franz Tost will have a hard time holding on to the remainder of his hair during the season. You see, right now it is clearly Gasly's team. His teammate Kvyat is a nice guy, but he was not close to the level of speed we got from his teammate. But with the speedy Japanese driver getting to grips fast, he will see his status challenged. And seeing as his career almost got destroyed by his teammate outperforming him, I see them clashing over and over again during this year. That reminds me of something though. When was the last time we've had a guy beloved by all with the team built around him get a rookie teammate with heavy backing from Honda and extreme speed? Oh boy, that one's gonna keep me up tonight. Well, that is it. Those are my predictions for this 2021 season. All laid out in a nice format here. As soon as the season is over, we will come back and see which came through and which didn't, so don't forget to subscribe to be notified. There's also going to be a point system, and I think of something to do if I get less than half of this correct. Of course, you can leave suggestions in the comments, by the way. Anyway, this has been this week's video. I wanted to push the predictions out so I can watch my fellow creators' video without being influenced, and so you can watch them too. As always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't seen my other stuff, you can check it out here on screen. And as always, I will see you next time.